Good evening, fellow gamers. Welcome to another edition of Dirathimus Gaming. I'm your host, Dirathimus. Today we're going to be looking over the new patch for Diablo 3. It's going to be coming out on the 21st of August, which, if you're watching this video, it probably is the 21st. The patch might be out by now, it might not be. So there's a lot of new stuff coming into the game, a whole lot of new things that are going to be added in for the longevity of the game, which I don't know if you're still playing it, but a couple of months after Diablo 3 came out, I was done with it, was tired with it, there was nothing new, I was just about bored. This new patch coming out is pretty much going to be changing my entire freaking outlook on this, and it is actually looking pretty interesting with all the changes. The nerfs, the buffs, the everything. Just everything. There's a lot more good stuff in this patch than bad stuff, which is actually pretty interesting because of how Blizzard is. So what we're going to be starting off with is Magic and Gold Find. There's a lot of cooperative changes being used, or swapped up right now, but Magic and Gold Find is no longer going to be averaged out in cooperative games. This is going to be per person, which in the next patch, Magic Find isn't going to be as useful as it is now, and I'll touch on that topic in just a little bit. But right now, it is going to be per person. So if you have 200% Magic Find, and there are two people in your group, instead of both person getting 100%, that one person is going to get 200%, and then that other person is just going to get whatever they're wearing. And in more co-op news, we have monster health being increased only by 75% per player. This is going to be across the board, despite the difficulty, despite whatever. So in normal difficulty, if another player joins, 75% more health. We already know the damage was taken out per player from a couple of patches ago, which was in the step in the right direction to get co-op good and healthy. But now in Inferno, we are going to only see 75% health increase per person, and instead of the 105% per person that it used to be, which is just absolutely ridiculous. Health was just way too much, took forever to kill anything. So that is one huge nerf in the term of the monsters, but a big buff for the players. So everything is going to be fine and dandy in co-op, hopefully. Another thing is going to be enrage timers for elites, elites being champions and rare packs, or rare mobs and champion packs. They are going to be removed entirely. So that is going to be absolutely amazing. I've only hit a enrage timer on one rare ever, and he put a damage over time. Whenever I got on the same screen as him, I immediately took 8,000 damage per second. And that was absolutely stupid. I had no... Who decided to put that in the game? What did that accomplish? So we also have the bridge between normal and the special mobs are going to be reduced dramatically. The health on normal mobs are getting increased, so they're not just one-shot cannon fodder anymore. They are going to have a little bit extra beef, and we are reducing the health on champion packs and rare mobs, so that is going to be freaking awesome. That should help out a lot for more co-op, and also just normal playing in general. That's normal mobs having 20,000 health, and some champion rolls up and he's got 750,000. What's the point of that? Why is he so much better? Anyway, moving on to affixes, the biggest thing here that I want to announce: invulnerable minions is going to be removed entirely. There is no longer going to be those annoying ass invulnerable minions blocking projectiles to protect their rare dude, and it is just amazing that it's completely gone and out of the way. Fire Chains and Arcane Orb are both getting nerfed. Fire Chains is getting just a flat reduced damage by about 20%, and Arcane Orb is being reduced by 30% as well. And there's also going to be more spread on the orbs, so you don't get 4 orbs locked in a corner, and you just sit there and cry as you die. So that is pretty awesome. Next up, we got some damage affix rolls, and item levels 61 and 62 are now going to be much higher, which is going to be closing that gap between levels 61 and 63 items. 63 items were just way too powerful for one less item level compared to 62. 62 is absolutely worthless compared to a 63. So now 61 and 62 item level items are now going to be buffed. But once again, all of these item changes are only going to be affecting after the patch drops. So if you are waiting with unidentified level 61 through 62 items, and you're just waiting for the patch to come out to get those extra stats, it's not going to happen. You're going to have to find new items to get those additional stats. So you could see somebody running around with old gear, and you have lower item level but better gear, or something crazy like that. So repair items or repairing on high level items is going to be reduced by about 25%. We saw a couple of patches ago, not expansions, a couple of patches ago that higher item level repairs was drastically increased, trying to help beat down that gold that everybody had. But Blizzard's kind of letting off on that by reducing high level being like 59 through 63 item level items by about 25%. And now we're moving on to legendary items. This is the big thing that Blizzard has been pushing. Legendary items are roughly, this is just me making up numbers, I'm going to say are getting a buff by about 35 to about 45% increase in power, which is going to be freaking amazing. Overall, legendary items are getting a huge overhaul. They are going to get new particle effects in games, new proc effects, so whenever you attack something or you get hit, you have a special chance of, say, summoning an angel or summoning a demon with your own fire chains affix, and there's also molten affixes on certain boots, and a whole bunch of crazy stuff. So legendary items are going to feel legendary, as well as legendary items can now roll up to item level 63. So they used to only be max item level of 62 as the max, and now with item level 63, the max level should add a whole bunch of new stats in there, make it a lot stronger. Also, Blizzard is trying to get two-handed weapons to be viable once again in game, and that should help out a lot. Core stats of two-handed weapons are going to be increased by roughly 70%, and that is an actual number that Blizzard has used, and that just looks freaking amazing. So two-handed weapons are going to be good overall, especially two-handed legendary items. I can't wait to see how those will be. There are a couple of screenshots where most of the legendary two-handed weapons are reaching about 1500 DPS, and that just looks absolutely scary. The big class changes that are going to be coming in are going to be to smash up that build diversity, so nobody's just running around with the same 6 skills as everybody else and the 3 passives. All of the mainstream spells are pretty much remaining untouched, so if you are using the #1 cookie cutter build for your class or whatever you're playing, you're not going to see much. But unless you're doing something other than that, you're probably going to see an increase in power. The biggest thing that I've seen was the Barbarian Rend. That is being increased from 210% weapon damage to 700%. Of course, the 210 is over 3 seconds, 700% is over 5, but that's still doubling it and not even double the time. And witch doctors are getting a big change. Their pets are now going to be more sustainable in combat. So instead of having to summon a pet, bam, it's dead. You have to wait for the cooldown to come up. They're going to be scaling off of your gear a lot better with that health regen, additional health, and armor, which should allow them to stand further more in combat. And they're also going to be taking reduced damage from AoE. So if you have that Molten Desecrator Plagued champion coming around, then bam, all your pets are gone. After the patch, that should no longer be happening. Now the biggest thing I want to touch on is the Paragon system. This is the biggest thing that the Blizzard is implementing for the longevity of the game. Give you some more progression after the level cap, because currently everybody feels kind of weak. You hit 60, you don't have a goal. It's just get through that act, get the best gear you can, and try and move on to the next act. Try and conquer those challenges. But right now, to add more life to the game, Blizzard is adding that after cap level progression system. This is to cover 2 aspects of the game, to make the progression without items, and to give an alternate means to Magic Find. In its current state, Magic Find is sacrificing survivability or strength in order to find better items more frequently. This is good and all, but it just brings up the counterintuitive thought of making yourself weaker to have the potential to be stronger. Now, the new system called Paragon levels will add 100 additional levels after level 60. Each level will give you a core stat increase, such as agility for demon hunters and monks, strength for barbarians, intelligence for witch doctors, all that stuff, as well as 3% increased magic and gold find. Since there are 100 levels of Paragon, they will bring the level magic find cap up to 300%, and removing the need for any armor swapping to magic gear in order to find any items. Nephilim Valor will still be in the game. Thankfully, that is going to be helping you out a lot. That's still going to give you that additional 75% magic and gold find, and that will stack on top of the level 100 Paragon, so that you will be able to have 375% magic find without wearing a single piece of magic find gear. That is freaking awesome. Also, each level of Nephilim Valor is going to increase your experience gain by 15% per stack. So that's going to bring up another 75% increased experience. And that is going to be helping out a lot because there's a massive amount of experience just needed to hit Paragon 100. This is a very good move to increase the longevity of the game, as well as making progression a long-term goal for your character instead of just the item hunt. I know I'm going to get some flack there because Diablo is all about the item hunt. But when you have a game with so many aspects and it's just focused on one, it's kind of hard to stay with the game, try and keep playing, try and keep finding more enjoyment out of that. Now with the new changes to co-op and Paragon, I see myself stepping back into the game. Going to be doing some co-op with some friends of mine, playing through, getting those Paragon levels, and finally able to pursue that Inferno Diablo kill with ease, instead of having to spend hours and hours and hours on end farming, getting all the gold I need. Thankfully, Paragon's coming out, and there's also going to be new icons and stuff. So it's kind of like a prestige at the end of it all. Somebody could say, "Hey, this guy has played a lot. He must know a lot about the game." Since I'll have my own, or you'll have your own little icon, little embroiderment around your little name in the game, and it'll be freaking awesome. So I hope you guys enjoyed this patch overview for 1.0.4. Once again, it's coming out tomorrow, or probably today if you're watching it, and this already came out if you're watching it a lot later. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys on Diablo 3.